During sleep, your body can go without food for 8 to 10 hours straight, the longest stretch without eating in your entire day. That's exactly why what you eat right before bed actually matters. After 60, every meal starts to matter a little more, especially the one you eat in the evening. The right evening snack can help you feel fuller for longer, give your body protein and healthy fats, and make the nighttime hours a little more comfortable. Today, we've put together the best foods, simple recipes, a few gentle movements before bed, and some helpful habits you can easily add to your evening routine. There's a habit almost nobody talks about: one spoonful of peanut butter before bed. Not right after dinner, not in the morning, but right before you lie down. But first, remember the main rule: one teaspoon, no more, and never pair it with sugar or caffeine before bed. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's talk about why this even works. If you're over 50, and even one of these sounds familiar, you wake up at night and can't fall back asleep, you go to bed hungry, you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep, then what follows is worth hearing. Here's something interesting: muscle loss speeds up after 50, and nighttime is exactly when the body needs fuel most for repairing muscle. But that's only half the story. Nighttime isn't a pause, it's when your body regulates blood sugar and produces hormones. And if you go to bed hungry, your body simply doesn't have much to work with. By the way, we're working hard to reach 200,000 subscribers before the end of this month. If this channel gives you practical health information that genuinely helps you, please subscribe right now. It only takes 2 seconds, but your support means more to us than you know. That's where peanut butter comes in. It has protein, healthy fats, and magnesium. Many adults get less magnesium than recommended, which is one reason foods containing it are often part of a balanced diet. Here's another detail people rarely mention: not all sources of nutrition are equally good right before bed. Foods high in fast digesting carbohydrates, white bread, sweet snack bars, or pastries, for example, can cause sharper swings in blood sugar. And it's often that kind of swing that wakes people up in the middle of the night. Thanks to its combination of protein and healthy fats, peanut butter usually digests more slowly than foods made up mostly of fast digesting carbohydrates. Before we go any further, here's rule number one: if a jar of peanut butter has a long list of ingredients, that's already a reason to put it back on the shelf. This isn't a miracle food, but it's a simple combination your body can put to good use while you're just sleeping. Here's a mistake most people don't even realize they're making: they eat peanut butter the wrong way in the evening. A heaping spoonful straight from the jar in front of the TV, peanut butter loaded with sugar and palm oil, a jelly sandwich at 11 p.m. That's not a light snack anymore. It's a full meal, and it can get in the way of falling asleep. But here's the nuance: it's not about the peanut butter itself, it's about timing and amount. How to choose the right peanut butter. At the store, don't just look at the pretty label. Flip the jar over first and check the ingredients. If it's just peanuts and a little salt, that's a great choice. If sugar or syrup is listed first, put that jar back on the shelf. Now, here's the exact method. Step 1: 1 teaspoon, about 5 to 6 grams. It's a small amount, but it's enough to give your body a steady bit of energy without overloading digestion. Step 2: eat it 30 to 40 minutes before you lie down. That gives your digestion a little time to settle before sleep. Step 3: you can eat it on its own or with a small piece of something it pairs well with. Step 4: wash it down with a little water, not coffee, not caffeinated tea. And here's where it gets interesting. Some sleep research notes that a more stable blood sugar level overnight is linked to fewer awakenings and deeper stages of sleep. In simple terms, calmer blood sugar often means calmer sleep. 3 mistakes that cancel out the benefit completely. Mistake 1: too large a portion. Several spoonfuls straight from the jar before bed turns a light addition into a heavy meal. Mistake 2: Peanut butter loaded with sugar. If sugar is one of the first three ingredients, you're essentially eating dessert, not a protein source. Mistake 3, pairing it with caffeine or something sweet. Cookies with peanut butter and sweet tea before bed isn't the same thing we're talking about here. One more thing worth remembering: timing matters just as much as what you eat. Even the right portion, eaten too late, right as you're about to lie down, can get in the way of falling asleep because your body is still busy digesting. 30 to 40 minutes is a reasonable window. There's one thing that often causes confusion. Many people assume any food before bed automatically turns into extra fat. In reality, it's a bit more complicated than that. For most people, your overall diet across the whole day matters far more than one small teaspoon of peanut butter in the evening. For that same reason, don't assume that any evening snack automatically works against a healthy weight. A small portion of protein and healthy fat is not the same thing as a heavy late dinner or a sweet dessert in front of the TV. If a snack like this fits into your usual routine, for many people, it can be a perfectly reasonable part of the evening. Then there's the opposite extreme. Some people think if a little protein is good, more must be better. But that logic doesn't hold up before bed. Your body doesn't need a heavy load on its digestion. What matters far more is a moderate portion that leaves you feeling satisfied without creating discomfort overnight. By the way, muscles keep repairing themselves overnight while you sleep. You just don't notice it happening. And finally, don't expect peanut butter on its own to completely transform your sleep quality. It's more like one small piece of a bigger picture. Paired with a consistent sleep schedule, a calm evening environment, and a balanced diet, it can become a helpful habit. But the effect will always be individual. If you're in the mood for something light and naturally sweet, try spreading a thin layer of peanut butter over a few banana slices and adding a pinch of cinnamon. It takes less than a minute to put together and works well for anyone who doesn't like going to bed on a completely empty stomach. If you're craving something softer and creamier in the evening, just stir a small amount of peanut butter into Greek yogurt and top it with a few chopped walnuts. It's a simple way to make an evening snack more filling without turning it into a full meal. And on cooler evenings, a lot of people like another option. Add a teaspoon of peanut butter to a small bowl of warm oatmeal and sprinkle a few pumpkin seeds on top. While the oatmeal is still warm, the peanut butter softens and blends in evenly, and the seeds add a nice bit of texture. By the way, the walnuts and pumpkin seeds in these aren't just there for flavor. They also contain healthy fats and minerals, including magnesium, so they can be a good complement to the peanut butter. Of course, that doesn't mean the effect is the same for everyone, but combinations like this make the evening snack a little more balanced. What happens if you do this for 30 days? Let's be honest right up front. This isn't a promise or a guarantee. Everybody's body responds differently. But here's what some people notice when they do this regularly. Week 1 is about getting used to a new habit, adding a small spoonful to your evening, about half an hour before bed. Week 2 is about paying attention to nighttime hunger, noticing whether you're waking up as often or not. Week 3 is about assessing whether it's become easier to stick to your evening routine. Week 4 is about deciding whether this habit is actually right for you personally. Now, an important part. Who should be more careful with this? If you have a peanut or nut allergy, this isn't for you. If you have chronic kidney disease, it's worth discussing evening protein intake with your doctor. If you have diabetes, talk to your doctor about whether this kind of snack fits and in what amount. And if you're on any medication or under a doctor's care regarding your diet, check with your physician first. None of this means peanut butter is dangerous for most people. It just means everyone has their own right amount, and your doctor knows your situation better than any video on YouTube. Try adding 3 simple movements before bed. Start with 10 slow heel raises. They gently activate the calf muscles after a long day of sitting. Then do 10 slow ankle circles. These help maintain ankle mobility. finish with 5 slow, deep breaths. This helps your body shift into a calmer state before sleep. Altogether, it takes less than 2 minutes, but it helps you ease from the activity of the day into rest. Now, a quick practical summary: what to buy: peanut butter with no added sugar, a banana, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, a few walnuts, and some pumpkin seeds. What to do: about 30 to 40 minutes before bed, eat 1 teaspoon of peanut butter using any of the ways we talked about. How much? 1 teaspoon, no more. Mistakes to avoid: a portion that's too large, peanut butter with added sugar, pairing it with caffeine or sweets before bed, and eating it too late in the evening. Sometimes health doesn't change because of expensive supplements or complicated programs. More often, it starts with one small habit that's easy to repeat every day. And maybe tonight is exactly where a good start begins. A lot of our viewers share great tips from their own experience. If you have a simple, healthy evening recipe you've been making for years, be sure to share it in the comments. It just might be the helpful discovery someone else needed.